A few years ago, one of my very best friends, he got up one morning and he was in a prayer meeting, and he prayed this prayer. He said, Lord, if it would shake the youth, I believe he said the youth of the nation, I'd give my life. He said, I'd give my life today if it would shake the youth of the nation. And he died that night in a car accident. He was one of the youth leaders, and later I became one of the youth leaders, and we were incredibly distraught by his death because everybody loved him so much. But at the same time, we knew he offered a precious sacrifice for something we believed in. We believed that a movement was going to rise from his death. I mean, not like Jesus or anything, but he said, Lord, if it would shake the youth of the nation, I'd give my life, and the Lord accepted that. So we have to believe that if the Lord responded to that first part of the prayer, I'd give my life, and he'd respond to the second part of the prayer. Well, I became a youth pastor, and for 3 years, I thought, when is this movement going to start? When is this going to happen? And I worked with a bunch of really awesome, wonderful kids, and some awesome stuff happened, but a youth movement didn't happen. And years later, I felt like everybody had forgotten. I thought they'd forgotten about him. And I was the only one. I thought, Lord, what's the deal? 3 years and nothing from this death. He was my best friend, Lord. And then several months ago, I was playing at a conference, and Lou was there. And we were playing, and he leaned over to me and he said, let's sing this in a stadium. And that kept ringing in my head. Let's sing this in a stadium. When I realized, the day after he died, I woke up and I wrote this song the very next day. And it's not my song, but the song has had wings. Everywhere it goes, I get emails from kids who've been delivered. I have people who've been saved just by listening to the song. And if this has nothing to do with me. Maybe I am arrogant, but I'm not arrogant in this. Is that I truly believe that this song is in some way a fulfillment to his prophecy, Lord. If you would shake the youth of the nation, I'd give my life. So he died, and out of his death I wrote this song. It's not even a worship song. It's a story about a guy named Stephen who meets the Lord for the first time after he's died. But I sing it like a worship song, because I believe this song is going to shake the youth of the nation. And whether it shakes the youth of the nation tonight or some other time, I have to believe that it's going to shake the youth of the nation. So would you sing it with me to the Lord, but also as intercession for the lost and the broken who need to know the true, real, deep love that only Jesus has to offer. He is jealous for me. He loves like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipse my glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Jealous for me, love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Would you sing 'cause he loves us? Whoa, how he loves us. Whoa, how he loves us. Whoa, yeah, he loves us. He loves us. Yeah, he loves us. Drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If grace is an ocean, we're all sinking.